What if parents could prepare their teens for college without any stress or any marital strife? Wouldn't that be amazing? It really would be. And I tell you, over the years of doing this work in college admissions, I've seen a lot of stress. I've seen a lot of worry and angst from parents about what the outcomes will be in terms of the admissions process. Parents are worried about testing. They many times they may already know that their child isn't a strong test taker, and so they're worried about what a low score is going to mean for them. Sometimes, they're worried about what which colleges they'll be admitted to because they may want them to attend their alma mater, or there's some other brand name college that they're hoping that they will attend, and that causes a lot of worry. And then the other worry that I see a great deal is the fact that, the cost to attend college has been rising over the years. And there's worry that their teen may have to take out loans, or maybe they'll have to take out a loan, or just that the money won't be there for them to attend college or the college of their dreams. Now, in this work over the years, I've seen a lot of stress, as I mentioned, and in particular, stress about those things. And what I have concluded with all of this in terms of why we as parents are stressing so much over this whole college admissions process and what the outcomes will be. Oftentimes, it's because we as parents can't let go. And I know that you know, may sound like I am really being harsh in some way. However, in doing this work, what I see is that when parents are holding on to try to control the outcomes, that's really what's leading to a lot of stress. It's leading to stress in the home in terms of them nagging their teen, and oftentimes just worried about things that haven't even come to pass just yet because they're holding on so tightly to the outcomes. And the thing that I encourage parents to do, and I know it can be hard to do because even in my own experience, I have 3 children, and there were some moments where I just wanted to jump in there and do it myself because I saw that they may have been procrastinating, or maybe they didn't realize, just what their behavior or grades or whatever, that attitude that they had, maybe they didn't realize how that could come back to bite them later. And I wanted to be there in some ways to save them from that mistake. And so I know that it can be hard when you see them doing things and you already know some of the things that are ahead for them. But at the same time, when you let go, when you let go of what the outcomes will be, then you find yourself actually enjoying the teen years, being able to be mom, be dad for them without all of the worry around the college admissions process. And I know that, with this process, it can sometimes be less transparent than it should be, quite frankly, because we know that right now, with some of the decisions around whether or not a college is going to be test optional, or even the reporting around who gets admitted and who doesn't get admitted, that can cause a bit of stress because we don't want our kids to be hurt, and we don't want them to feel disappointed in any way. But the truth of the matter is that we cannot control that. We cannot control that. but we know that we can control our own behavior, our own interactions with our teen, and really support them through high school and support them with navigating through that process by letting go. And sometimes letting go means having a third party that supports them, a coach that they're working with on that process. Maybe it sometimes mean just not being so involved in the process where perhaps you want to write the essay yourself, or maybe you are writing the essay, and that's when you are too close to it, you're too involved, and it's become your process as opposed to your team's process. And so it has to be one where you actually let go. And I want to share with you one thing that I've been doing over the last few years that's really brought about a lot of lessons in terms of the whole college process. I've started running, and I was always told as a child that I was a slow runner, that I was not a runner. And it was just this whole mindset that I was not athletic. Well, a few years ago, about a year before COVID, I read this book from this author. It was called Can't Hurt Me. And I can't even remember his name right now, David, his name. And so in the book, he talks about mindset and his experience in becoming an ultra marathoner. But it's a great book and one that I highly recommend. And so anyway, when I read this book, I was just like, something? I'm going to run a marathon. I'm going to run a marathon. Never ran before in my life, but I just decided after reading this book that I was going to run a marathon. And there were just so many things that I had to do to prepare myself mentally for that. And that was probably the biggest hurdle, was the mental aspect of it. Now, I'll share more later around, some of the other lessons that came from it. But the thing that I think about in terms of the running and how it applies to us as parents and navigating the process with our kids is that, the college admissions process, that's really like a marathon. It's not something that just happens overnight. But when you think about that and you think about, racing, and you think about passing the baton as well as part of this. So you think of years K through 8 as the parents are really doing the running and, encouraging their kids to run along beside them. And they're, supporting them in so many ways with navigating through the school system. And then when they're in high school, that's when it's really time to pass the baton, where the teen actually is owning the process. And I think for so many of us as parents, we're not letting go, so we're not thinking of it as that relay where we actually pass the baton to them. We're still holding on. We're still running the race to get all the way to the end, to that finish line, if you will, of sending them off to college. But when we don't let go in high school and we continue to do it, it really stunts their development. It also hurts their confidence, and it makes it that much harder for them to be in a place where they are thriving, where they're happy, and everything else about that experience of high school and getting there feels rewarded. And so I encourage you, I know this may be a little bit hard to hear. I encourage you to let go in high school And what you'll find is when you let go of the outcomes, the other aspects of them navigating the process and feeling supported, feeling confident, all of those things are going to happen. And that makes it that much easier for them in finding those colleges that are the right fit for them, where they can thrive, where they can be happy, and be in a place where they are growing and developing into just the amazing, amazing children that you've always raised them to be.